don't know if this interests anybody, but every month me and my brothers and some mates from big city of Halcombe, we do a World Halcombe Darts Championship. Take your turns hosting, sometimes out on my dick, sometimes over the pub, sometimes other people's houses. Anyway, I'm pretty average at darts, to be fair. I did make some stuff. I made some extended flights just for shits and giggles. Didn't really work, they weren't really straight, and but it didn't make a lot of difference to my darts because I'm shit. Anyway, I've also made some 2 metre long ones, which, yeah, a bit difficult to use, but you know, you were closer to the board. My latest thing for darts is because people keep cheating, they keep practicing every day. I don't practice at all, I just turn up and throw some darts and that's it, but people are taking it too seriously. So what I'm doing is I'm making a dart launcher like a crossbow but with a spring. So far I've got some nice native timber, so it looks like an antique, and I've just whittled around a bit. I've put a slot in the top for the flight to travel in. I'll show you. I've got to get some more darts because these flights will probably get destroyed. In fact, I've already killed that one by just throwing it off the end to see if it works. So that's going to go in there like that. And that'll travel along there. It's just a little V in the top, and it'll fly at the end. I've got a laser I'm going to put in there as well, a little laser sight, which I've ordered from Timu. And then I've just got to work out what sort of tension to put on a spring. So there'll be bits of scrap using them recycling. So that will go in. There's a gap there somewhere. I'll get it right. Where are we? Right there, like that. There's a gap there, and that will fly across there and push the dart. I'll put a little kind of cross in the end of it to hold the backy bit. Then there'll be another bit like that which will go across this slot to keep it all true, which a spring will be attached to. Then at the bottom of that there'll be like a little notch for a trigger, which will be up this end obviously, like yeah, his gun. So that's what I'm doing. Now there's my spring. It's quite grunty, to be fair. I don't know how much force, or what I'm going to do is sort of put it together, make the slidey bit work, and then just do some research, put this on a tripod so as I can get the accuracy, and yeah, chuck this dartboard, see if we can get in in the same place. I want to be getting it in the triples all the time, and not all over the place. So that'll be a crossbow. Well, not a crossbow. It'd be a dart gun sort of thing, ish. Or I could just fucking hurt myself. Innit? So that's what I'm doing today. Right now it's starting to get technical. So this bit of metal here, which is going to fling the dart, projectile, whatever you like to call it, it's a dart. I'm going to shape that so it looks parody at the top. Then I'm going to cut it down here somewhere, and then put a notch in it for the triggery bit, and then I'm going to put a slot in it, cut a bit of this off so it'll go that way, and then cut a bit of that out and put a pin in there for the spring to go through. So that will be that. The spring goes in. This slot what I made here, like that, and then I'll put another pin at the front of there to hold that, and then the other one will be, so when you come here, you little fucker. So when we pull it back, it'll be doing that in effect. It's pretty hard. It could be quite dangerous, but you know, don't stand in front of it. Should be fine. But that's it so far. I don't like working with wood because you can't weld it, which is a pain in the arse. So if you fuck bits up, you can't glue them back in again. Well, you can, but it just takes ages. I'm too impatient for that anyway. But there's that, innit? So this is what I'm thinking for the slidey bit. That's the shape of it. That's going to be against the dart. Then I'm going to slot that, cut a bit of this off, which will go flat ways on there, actually slot in there, and then there's a little catch. That'll be where my trigger will pick up on, and hopefully this should just slide backwards and forwards, and I'm going to slot out the front and chuck in, like I said, chuck in a bit of rod, and then this spring that'll go through the rod and that'll go onto there, so that'll give it a nice even pull, I think, anyway. So we'll try that. Right, so here is my little flinging mechanism. I've just got to weld it together, but the dart, I've put a little cross in there so the dart actually locates in it, it holds the end of the dart, hopefully. So now all I've got to do is weld that together. Got to take a little bit more out the bottom of it to put a pin in, and then I can have the spring just hanging in there. Then I've got to put another piece of wood on the bottom of here with a gap in it, obviously, for this little trigger catch to go in. Then I can make the trigger. We might be able to try it. The danger so far, right, so there's our slider. Now I've got to make the top bit, which is just going to hold that in. It'll just screw on there and there. Then I'll be able to load it by putting that back to the trigger. I'm going to have to try different trigger points on this because it's quite grunty. It might be a bit dangerous, but anyway, never mind. And then a final bit of sanding on these slots to make it totally free. But yeah, with British Rail we're getting there, or gone bankrupt. Now this is called wood butchery. I'm just putting a little slot across here. Say, don't like woodwork that much. Can do it, but prefer welding shit together. This is going to be my slot for the little trigger mechanism, and then when I've established how much force I need to go, I can go and whack a hole through it and mount the trigger and that malarkey. But for now, we'll just release it. So we can give it a test run. I'll come back to it when I've done some more. So I'm just going to do a quick test fire. Hopefully going to get somewhere where them hooks are from about 3 metres away, I believe, roughly. In the proper darts competition we'll be going a lot closer. Right, the weapon's loaded. Went a little bit high. Went up there. But that's alright, that's from 3 metres, you know, and I probably weren't aiming. Now just got to get the dart down. So I guess the next thing for me to do is make a trigger, innit? So I think the trigger should look like that, ish, something like that. So I'm going to go and cut that out, drill a hole in it, and then I'll mount it in there. I'm probably going to have a spring reacting against the back of it, drilled up into the wood. I'm going to have to find a pushy spring. I don't know if I've got any, but I'll have a look, innit? So there's my weapon of mass destruction. So far, all sanded up. Just got to put the mechanism back in, and then I can glue the 2 bits together, the toppy bit, fill the holes in, and then I'm going to make a stock and a handle for the front. Now I've just got to wait for my laser sight to turn up from Timu, innit? But other than that, it's pretty much nearly there, and it works, which is a result, innit? Marvellous. Well, I'm just doing a bit of fiddling and tarting, putting a bit of wood filler in the holes. I think I'm going to name it Hair Trigger. Look. isn't it? Bugger. Right, so there's been some dart gun developments. So I have added a backy bit and a handle. I've sorted out the trigger a little bit more, put an extra spring in there, so now it's not so hair triggery. And I've just been out, well, I ordered some bits off of Temu, and I bought these little lasers, look. They're like tiny, and they was like $6 for a packet. It's like, how do they do that? Anyway, then I found a battery. I think it's got to be 5 volt. I'm not sure how many volts that battery is, but where does it say? 5 volt, oh 3 volt. So I've got a 3 volt battery which seems to do the job. I'll show thee. So, touch that on there and that on there. And we have a laser. Look at that. So that's going to be my sight. Anyway, that's the ingredients, and then got some aircon pipe. That's a bit of a 3/4 aircon, and the battery fits in there like that. Got to deburr it a little bit more, but that goes in there. And then I've got a bit of 3/8 aircon pipe, which is that one there, which this will go into. That'll go in there somehow, like that, and I've just got to secure it, so I'll probably have to, I might wrap it with another bit of copper to get it in there. And then that one will go into that one, and I'll flare them out and solder them together. Then I'll get some old brass screws and stuff and make some adjusters and what have you. And then I've got to suss it out to do. That's the end of a torch. Just bought a $2 torch from the $2 shop. A $2 torch that was $3.50 anyway. But that has got a switch in it. So I'm going to try and incorporate that to the end somehow. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I might cut it off and get it inside a bit of copper. Put it inside a bit of copper somehow. But we'll suss that out in a minute. But anyway, that's my ingredients. My professional dart thingos arrived. They're much stronger than the other ones, so they work really well in here. They slide in and out nice. They locate in my little cross bit, and the ends don't fly off like the other ones were. So hopefully we should be in good stead for this month's World Dart Championships. Not cheating with a laser sight catapult gun. Innit? So far I've got a bit of 3/4 pipe, and I've welded on, silver soldered on a thread and then machined it out. Now the battery fits in there like that. Then I've got a brass cap with a hole in it, which is going to screw on there like that. And out of my $3.50 torch, I've just pulled the switch out the end like that. There's the little earth. That's going to go into this cap like that somehow. Oh, look at that, it fits perfect like that. That'll screw on there. All I've got to do is suss out how far on everything's going to go with the battery, and where I'm going to put the end of the end for the positive wire being here somewhere. So I'm going to switch the negative on that switch. This tube will become part of the soy kit. Yeah, so I will now measure up, see where the laser's got to go, then I can move on to the laser bit and the mounting for it, what have you. But it's only probably going to be about that long, I suppose, something like that. In it. Right, so here's my laser sight in principle. Look at that. Will that kill the camera? Don't know. Anyway, it's working. With an on and offable button. Now all I've got to do is suss it out and mount it to the weapon here. So it's going to go on the front there somewhere like that. So I'll probably get some screws so I can adjust it. And I'll be able to adjust it up and down and side to side like that. So I can get it bob on, don't you know? And then we'll see how we go from there, innit? So now I've got me brackets on underneath so I can adjust it up and down and in and out, and she's all hunky-doky, ready to go on. Now I've just got to bond the some nuts into the woody bit and make a bracket for the back one, and then I haven't got any springs, so I'm just going to use some rubber, some vacuum hose off my car. But then, yeah, there's my laser sight in it, and it looks all steampunk and rustic and whatever. So there. And I've got spare ones as well, just in case I've buggered this one up and all. So here's a test genitals with the laser sight. There's my temporary test board up there. Don't be alarmed by the dot. It's just a sniper. Close, isn't it? There are a few variables in here, not me. I think you'd say that's a bullseye. I've got to remember what the jackal does. I think he breathes out, stops breathing or something. I'll try that. No, I breathed. Bugger. I might have to use someone's head as a stand, I think. But it's perfectly safe now. Perfectly safe. You'll note we are getting in within, you know, 100 mil, which is better than my darts, so, you know. And I'm miles away. I should be up here. Now I'm used to firing at long range from 1 kilometre away. I should only be closer. Looks like I might be going out to the dartboard for a proper test. Pretty sure that's almost 180, but you know, sights are still a little bit out, aren't they? Wind got that. And that one. Not a bad score though, 70. You know what I mean? Not as good as my last score. $20. Another 20. Another 20. Almost 180. There you go. Good grouping though for a gun. Here is the finished article with its laser sight all mounted on the front. I've just given it a little test drive and I got two treble 20s and a treble 1, and that was my last little attempt to see what it goes like, and it's a pretty good grouping, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?